Good morning. Today I've got a wedding I'm going to. A little over 3 years ago, I met a friend of mine, Mike, and he was pretty broken at that time. He came into our group. He was going through a divorce. And, then come full circle. A little after that, I ended up baptizing him. And then today to be standing next to him is it's an honor, and I'm so grateful to see what's happening. And the woman that God brought into his life is amazing. They both had brokenness in their life, but then coming together and having God at the center, it's beautiful. God can restore broken things, when we come to him. And today I just wanted to talk about kind of a life application of something that I've been talking about. One thing is so I come into the world with this God-shaped hole, right? And so what I try and fill it with as I go along. So I started out with this God-shaped hole, as we all do. We're all separated from God. We're at enmity with God when we come in because of the fall. So now we try and fill that God-shaped hole with all kinds of different things. I started off with tennis. I was successful at that, so that was my identity, is being really good at tennis. So I was Bob the tennis guy. And then ended up doing well, but it didn't satisfy that hole that was there. I was still that broken person. So what I try and do is I go to the fraternity life and kind of go that route, and that was a lot of fun, and ended up a lot of drugs, a lot of women, all these things, thinking somehow that's going to satisfy that ache, that brokenness that's within, but it just masks it and hardens the heart even more. I was thinking about the first girl that I was ever engaged to. Here she is. She had seen her father. She was the first one to find him when she was like 8 years old. He was an attorney, and he ended up killing himself with a shotgun, and she found him. And other stuff in her life, this brokenness, and what that led her to, she ended up in pornography and men and stuff, trying to satisfy that brokenness within her. We're masking that with all these different things. Some people go a different route. They try and fill it with success and all this stuff, but in the end, it never fills us. We're just always searching and striving, and we can never have rest for our souls. We're meant to be his. We're meant to be loved and nurtured, and the beauty of relationship with God. Some people turn to religion and think that somehow is they're going to do and then receive. But that's not it either. It's a surrendering of your life and just saying, I'm yours, Lord. And then be back connected to God, not because of what we do, not because of our righteousness, but because of God's righteousness on our behalf. It's a given thing. It's a loving thing, rather than trying to earn Daddy's favor by what we do. We don't have to earn it. It's freely given, just like it is with our own children. And if our children go off the rails, our desire for them is just to come back home, and that's how God is with us. We have the opportunity at any time to come back home and be with him. But we have to make that choice. That's a loving choice. If there was no free will in that, we'd be robots, and that's not what it's. God is all about love and about us choosing to be in a relationship with him. Just as they chose in the garden not to be. They didn't want to be in that place. They wanted to be autonomous from God. They wanted to be like him. But we're created beings. He's the creator. We're supposed to submit our lives to him. But we want to be the God, that self-centered nature that we have. Anyway, that's enough for today. And again, Mike and Olga, congratulations. I can't wait to see what God's going to do in and through your lives. God bless.